Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. I hope everybody is doing good. Welcome to Family and Finance, where we connect you with tips, strategies, and people who will help you on your financial questions. Today, I am so excited. Today, I'm kind of like over the moon. I haven't landed on Earth yet. I'm still up there in cloud 9 because I have with me, honestly, among the greatest living people that I know. He is my only living mentor on mindset. And this name is big, so big. It's just, you're going to kind of understand my excitement as we go. But let me introduce to you my mentor, my friend, Ben and Tiffany Spangl. Welcome to my show.
Dr. Rose, so good to be with you. We're excited about it. Your introduction's kinder than we deserve, but we appreciate it. Happy to be with everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So listeners, before I start, I'm gonna share with you what I mean by greatness. So if you actually I'm gonna share my screen for a bit. If you go to Google, just Google and you Google Ben Spangl, this man here is totally Googleable. He is everywhere on Google. So everything you see on my screen, Ben Spangl is him, Ben Spangl, everything here is Ben Spangl. So here's the challenge I want everyone here, all my listeners, here's the challenge. Go to Ben Spangl's YouTube. He has loads and loads and loads of videos on mindset. He has 124 videos, almost 400 subscribers, and this man is great. Basically, I want everyone subscribe to this channel. This channel here will change your life. I am telling you because it's changing my life. So, again, go to Ben Spangl on YouTube, subscribe. Okay, I want you to confirm to me that you have subscribed. That's another step of accountability.
Nice.
Okay, so that tells you really the greatness that we have in the room right now. Okay, Ben, I apologize. I only have 56 subscribers right now, but as I go on, as I stay connected with you, all my people, I'll send them to you. How's that?
That sounds great. No need to apologize.
Awesome. So let's jump right into it. So Ben, tell me a bit about yourself, you and Tiffany, just a bit of self-introduction.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tiff and I have been married for coming up on 10 years this summer. We raised our 2 daughters. We've got a almost 7-year-old, almost 5-year-old. And, I teach a lot on mindset. Of course, we run a business in the financial industry as well. Obviously, you know that. And we run that together. Both those companies we run together. And Tiffany and I, the foundation of our marriage and our relationship was we actually met at a personal development seminar. So we were both already looking, how can we evolve the way that we're thinking so that we can create greater results in our life? So that's kind of how we got together. And you fast forward today, life's pretty good. I mean, building a business has always been a great thing. And it's created a lot of freedom in our life. And now one of our missions, both through what we do in our financial business, is really helping people understand the education process behind money, what to do with it, not just what to do with it and where to invest and those kind of things and what to insure, but also in the other company, I teach a lot on how do you think about money, because the way that we think about life dramatically impacts what happens in our life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tiffany, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I think one of the benefits of us meeting in a personal development seminar is it really set the basis, like this is the foundation of our marriage and our relationship. And so over the last 10 years, plus the 2 years that we spent dating, so 12 years together now, we almost 13 even, we took so many other personal development courses. We would go to the States and across Canada. We would go to Bob Proctor and Tony Robbins and Robin Sharma and multiple courses, always developing ourselves and then having that relationship with each other to be able to talk about it. And as we came up in our marriage, there's always conflict and things. And so being able to have the strategies and the tools to be able to come through that conflict and respecting the other person's feelings and being able to communicate in a way that's effective and being able to resolve it quickly. And it's really created a great life for us, being able to have this relationship and the mindset relationship with that.
Totally.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So you are gurus on mindset, and I see from your YouTube channel, you've interviewed great people. Like there's a lot of great minds that have come through on that channel. So from my perspective, I encounter people who struggle with mindset, right? So mindset, for example, let's say I'm a new immigrant. I just came in from Africa. I'm scared, I'm terrified because I came in a little too old. I kind of feel like, well, there is an opportunity for me. It's like that feeling of hopelessness and helplessness. How would you then, what tips and strategies would you give to somebody like that to even just get started and build themselves? Yeah,
great question. So much of life is a lot of the way we experience is based on the stories we tell. And I'm not talking about the fiction stories we read to our kids, but the stories we tell in our mind, the stories we tell ourselves. So many people will have experiences like that where, I didn't immigrate to the country. I grew up here, yet I can't tell you how many made up stories I had about why I couldn't. And, what was holding me back and why I wasn't successful and why I wasn't able to do this. And the challenge with all these things is on several levels. Number one, you become what you think about. And if the person's sitting around thinking it's not going to happen for me, there's no way that I can, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy for multiple reasons. One, you are programming your mind to look for reasons to prove yourself right. So the parts of your mind that work together, both the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is the proving mind. And so when you tell it something, it's going to look for it, repeatedly tell it something. It's going to figure out, how can I prove that? So then all of a sudden, you may not apply for the job that could have given the opportunity. You may not go to the networking event. What's the point? And so you do it in a way, both from your own physical actions that limit you. But then in the Bible says you have to learn to pray without ceasing. Well, what does that mean? When we're asking for things that we want, right? There's lots of great teachings in the Bible, as you're well aware. But the idea of pray without ceasing, it doesn't mean we sit for a moment in the morning and a moment at night, but we are always, through our thoughts, we're always offering something. And so not only do we get in the way of our own good by sometimes these limiting stories we tell, but then also we block out possible opportunities that could show up for us. So the starting point, if we know that's true, the starting point is, how do I tell a better story? How can I start to tell myself something more empowering? So if I just moved here, I've just immigrated here, and it's going to be hard, it's going to be challenging, there's not a lot of opportunity for me. Well, what I would do is I would question that first and foremost. Well, has there ever been someone that immigrated to Canada or immigrated anywhere and went on to create a great life? And the answer, of course, is with a massive, massive boom. Yes, there has been many millions of people that have done it all over the world. So we want to tell a better story. If it's possible for someone else, it's possible for me. You know what? I'm so happy to be here because I know there's so much opportunity here. And it may take me a bit, maybe it will, but I'm going to find the right thing for me. So it really is. It's really about telling a better story. It's about better dialogue inside of our mind. I mean, if you think about Rose, you think that of all the people that you're going to talk to for the rest of your life till the day that you die, the one person you can never get away from is yourself. It's the one conversation that you're going to be having forever, right? Yeah. The only time you're not is when you're sleeping. But other than that, we're having that conversation. So what we want to work on is, how do I create a more positive, optimistic, future-focused conversation in my head? Because even if someone doesn't fully understand this, just the act of thinking more optimistically, the act of being more positive, the act of thinking more hopeful and possibilities puts you in a place to take different actions, and it puts you in a place to receive different things in your life as well.
Wow. Tiffany, I can see you're bubbling with, something to add.
Oh yeah, no, I Ben's so good in his words and his delivery that sometimes what's in my head doesn't come out as smooth as that. But I think it's a process. And like
It
he said,
is.
we can never escape ourselves and what we tell ourselves. And that doesn't mean that you're never going to have moments of doubt. And just being able to take that, like if you're in a moment of sadness or doubt or fear, well, can I do this? Questioning myself, just take a moment to stop, pause. Okay, I don't want to have these thoughts. What can I think of instead? And so rather than having this experience where you think you'll never have negative thoughts or doubt about yourself, just recognizing it. Okay, these are the thoughts. What can I think of instead? And if you're in a moment that maybe I don't believe I can do it, but is it possible? So just even that hope, that possibility, like he said, is there anybody that's been able to do it? Well, if it's possible, that might even help bridge the gap to then believing you can.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. So it's a case of, I think I can, and so I must.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in a way, right? And then as we start to work on this, I mean, how do you start to work on it? Well, you have to be very deliberate about it. So I'm a big fan of writing. And a simple question is, often when people are, when they're doubting themselves, it's because they're focused on things they don't want, things not working out the way that they want to, or what if I lose my job, or what if it doesn't happen, or what if I lose all my money, or what if this, and we get stuck in this, these what ifs. But the act of writing, those are all things you don't want. Well, what are the things that I do want? Just that simple act can help redirect your focus. The second thing, like what you're doing with this, Dr. Rose, I think is so great, but to surround yourself with resources. Today, it's easier than ever. Podcasts, YouTubes. I mean, you can buy audio programs, whatever, but there's so much information you can get for free today, but to be constantly surrounding ourselves as much as we can when we're driving in our cars, maybe you're doing chores around the house and you can be listening with headphones, ways that you can saturate your mind with better ideas that are going to help you think on new levels. And then thirdly, when you can, and if I just moved here and I know nobody, I mean, I'm going to figure out ways to do it. But when you can, is how do you get around people that think and act in different levels? Because we become what we think about, and we also become in a lot of ways who we hang around. So because they influence what we think and do.
Yes.
This is so true now we have children, so a lot of the music that I play in my car is Disney music as we're driving to school. But
tell me about that.
Prior to that, we never ever listened to music or the radio in the car. It was always a mobile university is what we called it. So before podcasts existed, we didn't have that opportunity. And we didn't have a lot of money when we were first starting our business, 10, 15 years ago. Ben would go to the library and he would rent the Brian Tracy or
CDs.
He would rent the CD programs, the audio programs, and he would come and he'd put them on his computer and then bring them back to the library, and then he would burn the CDs. And so just being resourceful in who you can surround yourself with and what information are you consuming? Is that helping you or anchoring you?
Yeah.
Amazing. You and I can talk about this the whole day.
For sure we can.
But, let's, I have directed listeners, guys, this is so big. This is so deep. Okay. I've directed it to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe and listen to everything. Soak it all in like a new sponge. Okay. But now, Ben and Tiffany, let's talk about you. So you have kids, and I know that over the years you have, how has the mindset, how would I say, in just maybe a minute or two, how has the mindset that you've learned helped you financially to grow your wealth? Because now we're talking money. Because I know that you're a millionaire asset-wise, assets minus liabilities. Okay, it's over $1 million. So I know that you're a millionaire in your own right. So how have you grown from point A beginning to now?
Yeah, a progression is the answer, right? I mean, often I'm not sure if it's like this in your community, Rose, but I know growing up for myself, I grew up in a family and very much a community in a way that was like a lottery kind of mentality, right? That the only people that ever became wealthy were they were lucky, they were crooks, or they inherited it, or greedy, or so. So there was a lot of really negative mindsets around wealth.
Yeah.
And you can't have a negative mindset around wealth and become wealthy. It doesn't work that way, right? If I got a negative mindset around health, I ain't going to become healthy. I mean, it's just not the way that it works. So it's been a progression, for my first several years. I could speak to myself and then us as a couple, but struggling and not building wealth, if anything, going the wrong way. But then understanding that there's certain actions we need to take. There's certain vehicles that we can invest our money in and grow wealth and build wealth and protect wealth in. And I've also want to get the thinking right so that as I progress throughout my life in my greater earning years and everything, that I'm able to make the right choices with it. One person could make $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year, and they have nothing to show for it. Another person could make the same $200,000 and they've got lots. Well, what's the difference? They made the same money. So it's what did they do with it? Yes. But then the bigger question is, why did they do what they did? So it's been a progression for us for sure. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question properly.
Well, I think
it's great. It's great. It's just giving it time to grow and accumulate. Yes.
Absolutely.
Step by step, little by little. It's not quick wealth. It's not get rich quick.
Yeah.
Well, and we started when we didn't have money. Like we were broke and struggling paycheck to paycheck, and we were still saving money.
Yeah.
We started with what we could. I think it was $75 a month. It's what my first savings fund that Ben set up for me. And that was just whatever I could do to make the $75. And I was still like struggling to pay my other bills, but that was important to pay myself first.
Yeah.
And as we started to make more income, we just increased that. And a big thing too, we didn't upgrade our lifestyle too soon. So many people get caught up in, the keeping up with the Joneses idea, where I have to buy this new car, or I need this new house or new things. And so we were making, I think, a couple $100,000 a year, and we were still renting the same tiny apartment we had been in for 6 years already.
Which you don't have to do, just to be clear. You don't have to do that. We also
That's
didn't have kids at the time.
Yeah. And, it's a different point in our life that we were saving a whole ton of money. And then what that provided us is then we were able to go out and buy a home that was a really good size home that might be somebody's second home.
Right.
So we skipped the step of maybe buying a condo or buying and we were able to do that because we were smart with our money and we saved what we could instead of just upgrading as soon as we could afford the payment.
Yeah.
Right. I know sorry.
I was just going to say, last quick tip. I know you know this, and obviously working in the industry myself, there's lots of people that can help with this stuff. So someone's thinking about, the good news is there's people that can provide great financial plans, great advice. And the stats are, I know working in the industry, but someone that works with an advisor, just as an example, on average has 4 times the net worth than the person that doesn't.
Absolutely. 4 times the net worth. And I know your income, you are over $500,000 a year. Wow, that's incredible. $500,000 of income every year. That is cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Cool. That is cool.
It is cool.
Amazing. Yeah. So now let's talk about the kids. I love babies, and I'm sorry I'm talking about them last, but no apologies, but I'm saving the best for the last.
Sure.
So babies. So you have 2 kids, and now I know that those babies are wealthy already. So tell me, what you've done for, to set up your next generation. The reason I'm asking is in my community where, I come around people who, when you talk about things for babies, they only think education.
Right.
But they're not thinking insurance. They're not thinking wealth, accumulating wealth for future generations.
Right.
So maybe help us with that.
Yeah, 100%. I'll comment on that for sure. I'm a big fan of combining both insurance and wealth building at the same time for our kids. So both of our kids have great life. There's certain kinds of life insurance policies that, as you know, but just to explain to everybody, that when you buy them, they provide some kind of protection, yes, but they also allow you to invest inside of them, and they allow you to grow them in a very tax efficient way. So when our kids were first born, a couple of weeks after they're born, both of them got set up with plans like these. Now, as a parent, when we're buying an insurance policy, I'm not buying an insurance policy thinking, my child is going to die. I'm not thinking that in any way, shape, or form. If that ever happened, the last thing I would want to be doing is having to worry about money. The last thing I'd want to be doing is having to worry about going back to work the next day. So, but to me, that's such a small part of it. It's there, it protects them, it gives them coverage into adulthood, and, gives them guaranteed coverage for their life. But most importantly, we're planning, God willing, we're planning that they get to live very long lives. And so we want to set them up. We want to set them up so by the time they're in their mid-20s, probably 25-ish, is that because of the policies we set up for them when they were first born, and continue to contribute today, that they're going to have a big chunk of cash that can help them in many ways. What could that do for them? Well, maybe it's, you know, I mean, the price of housing today is fairly high, but what's it going to be 20 years from now? Right.
Exactly.
So maybe it's helping them get into their first home. Maybe it's them taking it over and they just continue growing it to help them build a great wealthy nest egg for themselves as they build their careers and their lives and their families. You know, maybe they're going to start a business and they need some capital for it. And this may be a resource for them. So it's so much more to be able to help them with that, to really help them prepare themselves. You know, I think in our lives, I mean, what would we have done with an extra $50,000 or $100,000 at that time? How could that have accelerated us at that point? You know,
exactly.
Or whether it be student loans that they don't have to come out of school already $50,000 or $100,000 in debt, like we see a lot of things today. So it just provides opportunities for our kids that then they can choose what they want in their life direction. And a big thing around that too, and how we're helping our next generation, is their mindset around money. And all the time, it's anytime that they find money on the ground, they pick it up and they yell, "I'm a money magnet." And it's just something so small. We learned that from T. Harv Eker. It's the course that we met at. And just little things like when we talk about money around them, it's not this taboo or, you know, we don't talk about money or anything, but we talk about, okay, well, if we go to the store and we don't want to buy them something, it's that we're choosing not to. We're choosing to save our money instead of spend it. And we have the conversations around them rather than just saying like, no, we can't afford it, or no, we this, or no, we that. We talk about why it's important for us to, yes, have the things we want, but also save for future and be able to have that nest egg. So the conversations that we have around them, also the mindset, and that the more we help people, the more value we bring, and money flows to value. So the more people you can help in your life, the more you'll attract more money in your life, and money can do good things for other people. And you know, I think it's a lot about the conversations that we have with them and what money can do and how we can help people with it, and the difference that you can make.
Totally.
Absolutely. And the time's flown away. But you know, this has been so much fun. So my listeners, I am so happy that, you know, Ben and Tiffany have talked about this. So that they say out of the mouths of two witnesses, so something is established, 2 or 3 witnesses. So when I talk to you about taking care of your children, future generations, is not because I want your kids to die. It's because we're trying to set them up for success in the future, for things they can use these policies to do. So a big thank you to Ben and Tiffany. This has been such a great conversation, and I'm committed to a long-term relationship with you. Thank you for being my mentor on mindset. I'm growing through that. And so my listeners, you know, again, subscribe to that channel, Ben Spangl, and don't forget, everyone else, subscribe to this channel as well when you see this video. And any last words before we let it go?
Last words are just this: your life can change in dramatic ways. You can be, do, and have whatever you want. It starts with adopting the thoughts that that's possible for me.
Absolutely. Tiffany?
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. God bless you. I really love the reference to the Bible as well. It's really, you know, like you're God-believing people. So that's good. I really like that. Thank you so much. God bless you, and have an amazing day.
Thank you, Rose. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.